I'll call the meeting to order at 9:38. President Bill McGowan, Lisa McGonigal, Paul Kears, Wayne Sawchuk, and Dan Coughlin. First order of business is our next meeting, and then that would be 2 weeks, which would be July the 11th. Is that good for everybody?
Yes.
You want to run those days past me again?
Just the 11th of July?
Okay.
Right now, it's good for me.
Okay.
All right.
That's a Monday, huh?
Is it?
Yeah.
I'm not good with calendars, I have to say. So
12th?
Yes. 12th is
Yeah.
Tuesday.
yeah, why don't we do it 12?
9:30?
Sure.
All right, so first we have Cook Estate, the sewer connection update. I spoke with Jane Reardon yesterday, and she submit the application. And we talked to Ryan briefly about it as well. And I apologize, I sent it to you guys this morning, not yesterday. There really wasn't much information on there because we still need some more information to complete the application.
Okay.
Jane,
I can only really fill out the first page, and the rest it looked like had to be filled out by the drain layer contractor. And in talking to Brian, so I did the first page, and anyway, I also think we sent to you guys the updated plan, engineering and electrical plan from Sean. And last week on Thursday, he sent it to Dan and Brian, who made some, because Sean is not on the call because of a medical appointment and that couldn't be changed. So they made a couple of comments. He made those changes and resubmitted them back to them. And I believe those were the ones that Lisa was sending out to you yesterday. So I think, unless there's anything other than that, and what other comments do you guys have from the plans?
The plants look pretty good. By the way, I think Sean could probably fill out most of that application for you as well, since it's an
Great.
engineered plan. So you can
Okay.
probably just give it to him and he can fill out most of it.
Sure.
In terms of the plans, the only thing that we saw, I did send someone by to field walk the new route. And there looked like there were a couple of trees that weren't on the survey that would be impacted. And that would be my only concern. And I'll try to mark that up and send that to Sean.
That would be great. What other comments do you guys have on the plan?
I have to be honest, they were kind of hieroglyphics to me, so I can't really say anything.
Yeah, me too.
I'm sorry, the only additional thing I saw, because of the close proximity of some of the trees, there is, potential issue where you go do the construction and then a tree would die later on. And I'm not sure how your agreement with the abutter would work with that. Obviously, it's probably not an issue on your own property, but I'm not sure if there's like a 1 year. I know there's a 1 year construction warranty, but I'm not sure how well that defines it in terms of tree damage.
Great. So I'll be in touch with our attorney who's working on the easement with Brian and talk about how we might deal with that, because it is close to some of those trees, but we were trying to stay as far away from the existing septic field because you asked us to. So we'll work on it. So those are the trees you're concerned about, is on Haggie's property, right?
There were a couple that weren't even shown on your topo plan that we picked
All right.
up in the field walk. So what we'll do is we'll highlight that and send it over to Sean.
Perfect.
And then my only concern is 2 years from now or 1 year from now, the abutter comes back and asks the commission to take down a tree for him because it's dead. So.
Yeah, I understand. I mean, and I think in good faith, we're asking for the easement. So we will stand by whatever the terms of that easement is, even if it's down the road. We'll we'll write that into it. Shin, I haven't met you, but I know you're working on the easement with Ellen and Brian Hagee's lawyer. I'm Jane, so if that sounds like I mean, I'm not a lawyer, but that sounds like we can manage that.
Yes, I think so.
Great.
So Dan, do you think the plans are to the point where they're final, or?
Yeah, they're pretty close to being final. So I mean, as far as I'm concerned, they should be able to proceed with their pricing and trying to
Terrific.
get some quotes.
Thank you.
Right, so they have to officially submit their final plans to us and the application. And then, we go through the process of turning that over to Dan and doing the final review and signing off on them.
Okay. So my understanding was if you guys didn't have any further issues, I could go out to bid. The application can't be completed. I didn't know Sean could fill it out, but it refers to in all of the documents that the drain layer contractor is the one to fill out the plans. I don't have a drain layer contractor until we go out to bid.
Yeah,
Okay.
typically an engineer is not involved. So the
Okay,
drain layer
great.
does the layout and everything. In this case,
Terrific.
Sean could probably fill out most of it. The only thing you need afterwards is to give us the drain layer's name and number, and we'll check
Of
that.
course.
In
Of
terms
course.
of
So,
soliciting, in terms of soliciting bids, I think you can do that now. The plans aren't going to change significantly. So your pricing should be okay. But as
Great.
Paul said, we still need to make it official. We need stamped plans, obviously,
Perfect.
and then application.
perfect. So I will complete. I didn't know that. So now we know that. What we plan to do is on Thursday, go out to bid. There are 5 or 6 contractors that are on your approved list that we've gone from. We've contacted them in advance. I'm looking for the list, but I don't, oh, there it is. And they're all on your list. We've Jean Livingston, one of our trustees, has called all the ones that are on our short list to see if they have availability to do the work in the month of August. We've taken off the list anyone that says they have no time. And so our intent is to have the plan in their hands and a cover letter with a turnaround time of 5 business days. So that by the time of the end of next week, we hope to have a number and a contractor, if not signed, sealed, and delivered, close.
Okay, because our meeting will be the 12th.
Yeah.
If we can review it, if we can vote on it and accept it on the 12th, they'd be ready to go.
Okay, now I think we had there was one contractor who said that some of the piping and things may be on back order. So what I don't want to do is, we're very cognizant of the school schedule and getting the school side of this done by the beginning of September 1, before September 1. And so the 11th is 2 weeks from now, and I'm not trying to be difficult. I just want to be able to move forward so that people could place orders on some of the materials that may be harder to get a hold of.
Jane, just so you're aware, you have HDPE pipe on the plan, I believe. There is basically SDR 21 PVC that would also suffice in terms of pressure piping. So there are at least 2
Good.
alternates on that. If
Great.
you do have a problem with one pipe.
Perfect. Thank you for letting me know. I'll let Sean know that. So you guys are all right with, and I'll be in constant communication with Dan and Lisa and whoever else you want me to be when we select a contractor. If there's anything we need to come back to you on, obviously there are a few other pieces that are moving in parallel, one being the easement, 2 being the development planning for I keep calling it an abatement, and I'm sorry, I keep calling it an abatement, but
Yeah.
the equivalent of. So those are running in parallel. But I really think we need to get this piece in the hands of contractors, bids back, and then to the board and our engineer to make the decision on who we're going with and how much it's going to cost, so that we can continue to develop. We are securing financing in the interim, but a plan so our residents will know how much this is going to cost them.
Okay, thank you. Wayne's got his hand up.
Oh, Wayne's gone.
And he might have been asking for help before he disappeared.
Does all that sound reasonable?
Yeah,
It's just fine. I mean,
Yeah.
Obviously, if you're concerned about delays, I mean, you could do things at risk on your end. Once you get some confirmation from some contractors, like Dan said, there's not much is going to change on the plans that we've seen so far. So, you can get things on order at risk and if you're concerned about it, any delays, but I think we're fine. And if you let the contractors know when they review the plans for bid that you would start at the school first, that way they could take a look at the materials for that end of it, perhaps.
Yeah, that's exactly what in our communication to the contractors, we'll be starting at the school end.
Okay.
That we're saying that in the cover letter. So that's so that if there are any delays, that at least we can get that stuff laid and covered and for the, and we're trying to work if we at all can. I know there's rec camp. I think it's called rec camp.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, through the middle of August. So we know we have a smaller window and we will do the best we can. And of course, work with whoever you tell us to work with when we come to construction on that end.
right.
All right.
Any other
I'm sorry.
guidance? I'm sorry, I didn't know Sean could fill that out. If I'd known, it would have been done. So I didn't know till right now because it referred to a drain layer contractor.
Okay, anything else? No?
I think
All right.
we'll just, I just want to confirm with Sharon that Lisa was sending her the CJC agreement just as kind of I don't know, a guidance document or a draft or something to take a look at, but and she was going to review the easement on the town side of it. So can you give us an update, Sharon, on where we are with that?
Right, so I did review the CJX agreement and I am using that as a model with some changes. I do have some questions for you. I know that the model agreement refers to a single meter. Is that still applicable or is that not applicable?
I think it is. I think there's 1 meter that's at the back of Stop and Shop. That's what we're using. Is that correct?
In terms of the flow meters, they've all opted to basically put in 3 different flow meters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
Our
for Cook,
project.
so for the question is for Cook, are we going to have 1, Dan, or are we going to have 4? We have 1 at every pumping station or what?
Do we need that, or is that just for I and I?
Yeah, I don't think we need it in this case. I mean,
The water readings will show up on each individual's water meter, and then they'll be charged for sewer based on that, minus anything that might come off of outside water.
Okay, so we don't need to refer to any water, to any meters for the flow, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And Wayne, I know when you and I spoke, we said that it's the connection fee of 37.5 is based on each unit not having more than 4 bedrooms. And you mentioned, was it 110 or 330 gallons per day?
Well, it is 410, I guess. What is the
40.
I don't know how. That's a good question, because some of the units are 2 bedrooms, some of them are 3 bedrooms. There's one, I think, that one unit has 5 bedrooms. But I don't know if we're charging the same fee for each of the 27 units, or in fact, is someone that with a 2-bedroom going to pay half of the amount?
That has been my understanding. That's why the town assessed the number of bedrooms, and I have a chart that is from the town's assessment. So it wouldn't make any sense to have an assessment of a 2-bedroom house be 37.5.
Exactly.
You know,
I'm, yeah,
Right,
I'm,
right. I'm
I'm in
just saying,
favor, but I just want to make sure that
Yeah.
our attorney knows that there's a calculation in there. So we're going to need to, include that list from the town, and then you will be basically be charging them 1/4 for each bedroom of the 37 with a little extra for one unit,
Okay, so,
right? So it's gonna be whatever that 50% of that is, for instance, for a 2-bedroom. So,
Lisa may have a fee schedule
yeah,
for how we calculate them.
Jane,
Yes,
just to-
I do. It's basically 93.75 per
Yeah.
bedroom.
okay, that's the easiest way to do it then.
Yep.
Okay.
So Sharon, Lisa can work with you on the fee schedule.
and I can at least I'll send you what the assessor sent us. And I know you'll get it officially, but if you could get that to Sharon, then we can save at least a step. I won't be able to do that until later today, but I can get you that.
Okay, sounds good. I might even have it. I can check with Pam too. I think Pam had it.
okay.
Yeah,
that
and
would be
if not, we can get it. And Alicia is on the call, and maybe Alicia could forward it to Lisa's email, which is on the town website.
Right, and then my other question is are we assessing, is it the betterment on the association or the individual unit owners? I would expect the individual unit owners, but I just want to confirm.
Correct.
Yes, that would be how we'd want it.
Okay, good. All
So
right.
we had a different opinion from Greg on that. He told us that the 20-year betterment would be with the association.
Yeah, that's what I remember.
We would
Not with-
really, yeah,
Not with
because
individual homeowners.
Because it
and
goes,
w-
it goes under the tax bill, so I'd expect that it would be the,
It's not, doesn't go with the tax bill. This is
Sewer.
not a legal betterment. What this is a private agreement between the Cook Estate and the Sewer Commission.
I see.
So it is not a town betterment where it would go through the tax process
Okay,
that normal betterments go through.
we would strongly appreciate if it was at the individual homeowners level, because we have, 27 owners, and they could sell their homes at any given time, and and they're varying, I mean, whatever, you get. That would be preferable to us if it's at all possible.
because
I
then
don't know
we'd
if
have
that's
to report
possible
it
because the
in.
agreement, I mean, you're not gonna have all 27 homeowners sign the agreement. It's gonna be.
Well, I
elected
can.
meeting.
I mean, I can do almost anything if it would facilitate that happening. I mean, that's not an impossible task.
I think that's the right way to do it, because as we say, the responsibility is on the units today and not on the association. The association is just has certain other requirements of maintaining the pump stations.
Yes. They own their own, they take care of their own grinder pumps. And they pay their own water bills. The maintenance of the septic and the cleaning out of it is done by the association because it's a, multiple use. But they pay their own water bills.
Okay, but it's gonna be, so then you have to have a legal,
And I think the article at town meeting,
I have
in fact,
several of them.
betterment. And
Have
then,
more of.
and then if somebody doesn't pay, then the town has to take them to court to enforce because it's not a so-called real betterment.
Well,
I
suppose, but-
if there's a development agreement between the town of Cohasset and the association, wouldn't it make sense that there would just be, and there's only one application, wouldn't it make sense that it would be with the betterment agreement would be the association?
Well, that's what I'm trying to parse through what makes most sense. On the one hand, it makes sense to do it on the association so that the association is responsible.
On a conference call with the state. So are you all set on this? Or-
So it would make sense for the.
Lisa, can you mute Wayne? Veteran.
Oh, sorry. So I was just trying to parse through these different issues because, you know, there's an enforcement issue, collection issue. So what happens? You know, you have a betterment agreement, Lisa, but how are you going to enforce it? The enforcement is through through a lawsuit.
Mhm.
And
So Sharon, so I'd like to set up a separate meeting, Sharon, with you and Greg and the commission to review it.
sounds good.
Yeah, and
That would be-
I sort of echo that. I think we need you to tell us what's in our best interest, period.
I will.
It would also, I would love to have our attorney, if at all possible. I mean, you might want to do it afterwards, but to have Ellen Shapiro on our behalf, at least part of the discussion. Because I think financially, you know, that we're not a big, I mean, we're 27 units, but I mean, when we have the complexity of trying to manage your development agreement across 27 houses centrally for us is, we don't really have systems set up to do that. And I appreciate the legal issue if someone doesn't pay and the repercussions of that. It can be easy for us to manage.
Yeah, and I think, Jane, not to complicate matters, but we're sort of in the same boat. We don't have sort of the infrastructure
it.
to do the same thing, so.
Yeah. And in fact, we had gone through this with
I
Don
get it.
Piet. Yep. And he stated that it's not under Massachusetts law, he can't do a betterment.
Okay. Sounds
It's-
good.
Yeah. So we'll go over it with Sharon.
Yeah, yep. And we'll let you know when we schedule that, Jane.
I think she
Um,
dropped off.
Yeah, something was going on.
Right, so the sooner the better, because that's an important issue because before we finalize the sewer agreement.
What about when you sell your home and the buyer assumes the betterment? How can you do that if it's the Cook estate?
Right. So just hypothetically, if the sewer commission has a payment agreement with the Cook Estates, we receive a monthly payment from the association. The association then assesses the fees to their 27 units, just like they would do the whatever the association fees are every month.
So if
Correct.
someone wanted to pay it off early and have the opportunity to not pay the interest on the betterment, they're not allowed to do that.
Well, they could do it within the Cook Estates. They sure can.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think Jane's speaker's off.
I think we're trying to reconnect with Jane here, so I can see
Yeah,
her.
I'm back. I'm back. I think we're going to be able to offer some options for payment to residents that don't all have to be the same. But I think we can do it. It's just complicated. And I don't know how it will relate to, well, anyway, that's a whole different issue. We can talk to Ellen and our management company about that. Ellen Shapiro.
But doesn't it mean that the association is now in the business of issuing a sewer bill to the 27?
Totally different, Wayne. No, totally different. The sewer bill is for the monthly usage. That has nothing to do with the 20-year payment plan on the privilege and hookup fee. They're two different things.
Okay, so they're only going to have to worry about getting an amount from the folks. If the association wants to fund it for each unit, and the people on the units that own it could pay it off all at once, or they could pay the association, if the association wanted to, a monthly fee or quarterly or whatever they wanted to do to get the balance. And then
Right,
their agreement would say that if there was a sale, that in fact the betterment would call it a betterment, the fee would then have to be paid in full, whatever the balance was.
Correct.
Okay.
So
for
the
the
associ-
individual unit.
right, so it's no different than what they're doing now. So what Jane had mentioned is they're going out for bid to pay for the construction, right? So they're gonna get a loan to pay the construction, and the folks in the association are gonna come up with an arrangement to collect those in fees, monthly fees from the homeowners. And
Okay,
we're no different. We're a vendor just like her contractor is. So we're gonna send them a bill and they're gonna have to come up with a way to pay the bill.
okay,
But we're allowing them to pay over 20 years. That's what's going to be in the agreement.
Okay, we'll move forward and just, we need to some help with, on the legal side for how we do this. There's one question on when the application goes in, there's a place for payment. And I have no idea what you guys are expecting in terms of a fee that would go along with that one application for 27 houses. So I need you guys, when you meet about the development agreement,
Mhm.
maybe you could come up with, and we need some advance note. I mean, we don't have a lot of money. So, I mean, we obviously collect fees and this will be part of the cost, but if it's a big number, we need advance notice. I mean, I can't turn around a large check in a couple days.
Right. So we had a deposit in the last contract that we did that was similar to this, and then the 20-year payment plan. So
Okay, but when you come up with a number sooner rather than later, let me know.
Okay.
Any idea what that number might be or what it was in the previous?
I think it was $100,000 on CJC.
That was commercial though, correct? And residential?
Yes.
Yeah, it's mixed use, but that the down payment was based on the cost of what it's going to take for the sewer department to manage the first year of processing construction, as it's being installed and then it's being conveyed to the town. Yours, I suspect, would be less because it's a smaller project. So that's something we can discuss amongst ourselves here, what that would be.
That would be great. Soon, if it's anything large, sooner rather than later, because we need for things until we know how much it's cost.
So just keep in mind, I mean, it's
And
don't spend too much time comparing it to CJC. I think what we're looking at here is you've got an existing system that's just going to be basically piped over to the school. So it's not as complex
Exactly.
as the other one.
absolutely. It's just, and I assume that application fee, does that go against the ultimate large fee that we'll be paying for the development charge?
Yes,
Or is it a throwaway? Okay,
it's part of it, right?
fine, great. Almost like an advance of it.
Right.
Correct.
Great,
Just
thank you.
it's there strictly to cover our costs out of pocket.
It's perfect. I don't have the form in front of me because I'm driving, but I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't a throwaway fee or an added expense. It's part of that, if you will, pleasure of hooking up to sewer cost. It'll come
Right,
out of
so
that bucket.
Right, so when you submit the application, it talks about the fee, just put in there,
Yep.
C agreement,
Perfect,
and
great,
you'll be fine.
perfect.
Yep.
great. We can add that to that. That's the page that I think is already in your hands. And I will have Sean work on the other, maybe we'll start it this afternoon or I'll get it to you tomorrow.
Okay.
Excuse me, Jane, it's
Yep.
Alicia. I got a call and I heard that you asked me to forward a document to Sharon. What was that you needed?
To Lisa, and it's the bedroom count that was
Oh,
done by
okay.
the assessor's office. That would be just so she has it. And I'm
Yep.
sure you'll get it through the town officially, but it's the one that was put together after that walkthrough.
No problem.
Thank you.
Hi, Sharon.
Hi, Alicia.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
Anything else from on Cook?
Don't think so.
all. We're making progress.
Okay, so we'll put you on the agenda for the 12th. If you have anything ready for us, we'll look at it by then.
Absolutely.
Oh, we'll have it way
Okay.
before then because we're going out to bid and hopefully we'll have a contractor by then and an amount. So we
So
can,
any time you have plans that are ready to be, stamped and or to their finals, if you can get it to Dan and Wayne so they can review it.
oh, that's exactly what we've been doing. That's
Okay.
that's exactly what we've been doing. So, and Brian, also,
Joyce, yeah.
I know he's not part of your committee, but
He
he's
is.
been
Oh, he
helpful.
is.
Okay,
Brian
okay,
Joyce
great.
is right.
great.
Mhm.
Yeah, we don't, it's kind of hard to vote on something at 9:30 in the morning if you get it at 9,
I agree. I agree. Well, we had it to those guys last Thursday.
Okay,
So, and there've been a couple iterations since. So we will get it to you as soon as, I'll get it to Lisa and ask her to get it out to you after this next iteration.
All right, very good.
thank you.
All right, thanks, Jane.
Thank you. Yeah, bye.
Okay, why don't we go to 3 Diab? And just as a note, we've got a hard stop at 10:30. So we've got a couple of things to go through. So is somebody from Diab here or,
I will join.
I'm sorry?
I'll follow up with you later about the meeting.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sorry, I'm
She-
Al Smith. I'm from 3D as well.
I wanted Sharon to stick around for this one. Okay.
I don't think, sounds like she didn't want to. Do you want to try to get her back?
Okay,
Lisa?
yeah.
Mhm.
By the way, this was brought up to me by the broker and stuff about the trying to do a betterment for it.
Okay,
Here she is. She's back.
okay. Hi
Thank-
Sharon, how are you? So
Thank you.
we've got an issue with the 3 Diab and about the sewage privilege fee. Wayne basically just mentioned that he was, this was surfaced to him by the broker. And L. Smith, are you the broker or the owner?
She's on mute.
Sorry, I'm the owner.
Okay. All right. So can you state to the board what your ask is?
I believe Wayne's going to run with this. I'm just here if you have any additional questions.
Right, so you're asking for something, so you have to state your name and your address.
Oh, sure.
And then
I'm-
what is your asking? Yeah.
No problem. My name's Elle Smith. We purchased 3 Diab. Again, Wayne, were you going to speak to this or did you want me to?
You can, but I'll just say that this situation had to do with the jeweler and all that other stuff, and it was determined by the board and stuff that a new fee would have to be paid. And they started their house. We gave them 90 days to sort of make arrangements to pay the bill, and they've asked a couple of times about the abatement. And I know we had some discussion earlier right now today saying that we can't do an abatement, but I don't know. I don't know if something could be done where maybe they have 6 payments of a 1/6 or whatever it happens to be, or some other help to have them be able to afford what it is that they're doing. So,
And Yeah, and to
Al-
piggyback
Allison,
on Wayne's ask is just, we purchased this. There is a lot of history in our lot. I'm not going to waste your time with that. Essentially, we thought this was taken care of. It was, but it lapsed. Has nothing to do with us, has to do with the seller. He is no longer involved in the community. And so this is just an exorbitant cost for us on top of our build, which, as we all know, goes much higher than you expect. Personal lives, this is just our first purchase. We've never done this. So just to get a $37,000 fee on top of everything else, you know, new baby, all that good stuff. We're absolutely okay. We will absorb that cost. Again, it was unexpected for us. We thought this was taken care of. But if we could have any sort of accommodation, it's just my husband and I, just to pay it over time in any way, that would be just tremendously helpful to our financial position right now.
Well, I understand where you're coming from. I hear you. The issue that we have is that we have two abutters who we didn't give any kind of a break to.
Correct. That's a builder. And
I
I understand.
It doesn't matter who they
Mhm.
are. It's just that we haven't done that. And, you know, I think we would be open Pandora's box if
Yeah.
we gave an accommodation to you and your husband and not to the other two. And for that matter, to anyone else that comes up and wants to finance the piece. I don't know what we can do here. I mean, I don't know what we can do without bringing some sort of legal jeopardy onto the board.
Mhm.
And Sharon, can you comment on that? I'm not an attorney, so I'd like your advice.
Right, no, I think you'll be establishing a precedent if you allow this in this instance, because then there's an equal protections argument that others would have as to why these owners were permitted to extend their payment and others weren't. So
Right.
so you have a constitutional issue if you permit it in this case.
So right now, maybe Lisa can help me refresh my memory. The 37.5 privilege and hookup fee is paid within 90 days of the permit being issued.
Yes.
Okay, so the only other way that would be a way to do it, it would be if we change that policy to something like 120 days or 180 days, then that would apply to everybody at that point. So I don't know if that's something we would want to consider. And if we did consider it, would it only be on new applications, or would it be on open or existing applications? Is that something, Sharon, you think we could do?
It would be best if it were on a going forward basis, because
Yeah,
then you have
okay.
to go back and revisit it with everybody. Just the
Yeah.
administrative nightmare of doing that.
Right. Yeah, outside of that, I don't know what else, the commission could do.
And going back, I mean, have you looked at, just including this within your mortgage? I mean, as a, and basically self-financing it?
No, there's just so much background. We weren't expecting this to be part of our bill, to be candid, but we can certainly go back. We're locked in at a certain rate, not sure that they would honor that. So we're talking about a much different bill now. But thank you for the suggestion.
And you've obviously chased the seller, I would presume.
That's a dead end,
Okay.
unfortunately. Yeah. So it's just not a great position for us, but it was worth the ask. And Wayne, thank you as well for your assistance on this and trying.
Yeah, I'm sorry, we can't help. I mean, it's, kind of, in the middle of this, and sorry, we couldn't do anything. So,
Yeah, it's Matt Shannon. You all know the name.
But yeah,
oh, I know.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. We
Yeah,
know.
we picked that up, so unknowingly.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you for your consideration.
Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you.
Good luck.
Okay, we got 12 Lambert's Lane.
So 12 Lambert's Lane is going to be continued to the next meeting.
Oh,
So we can go to CJC.
is not on the agenda. Is that a,
Yeah, we can do it under other business.
Other
Okay.
business.
and then do you still need Sharon?
I don't think so. I mean, I think we're just talking about repositioning the pipe.
Yeah.
So unless she wants to listen to some good sewer talk, I don't know.
We may take a pass. if you
Yeah,
don't mind.
okay. All right. Thank you.
Sharon.
Thank you. All right, let me promote everyone. All right, everybody's on.
So we're hearing from Tetra Tech first, Mark.
Yeah, I guess.
Hey, everyone, how you doing? This is Brad Picard with Tetra Tech in regards to the Cohasset sewer improvements on Route 3A. So with the test pits that RJV completed over on Route 3A, we have determined that the water main is actually on outside of the paved area within the shoulder on the northbound side, and then crosses at a certain point onto the southbound side at a 90-degree angle. With that information, we have determined that we can realign the sewer and keep it directly in the northbound lane for the entire length from DePello Road to the connection at that south driveway of the Stop and Shop Plaza. So I just wanted to open it up for any comments or questions that you may have. I submitted the sketch to pretty much everybody that I could. So if there's any questions or concerns, we have talked through everything with CES, Jake with Coughlin. So they are up to speed with the new alignment that we are proposing.
Yeah, I haven't heard of any opposition to it. I know I've got a couple emails on it. It seemed reasonable to me. I don't know, Wayne, what your thoughts were on it. This was something that Wayne was talking about for quite some time when we were going through the process about having to go across the street and then back across the street again. It didn't make sense at that time.
Right.
So Wayne, you're on mute.
Okay. No, this is this is absolutely what I think what they should have done at the beginning, and so I'm pleased, and I think people like the Conservation Commission and stuff sent a note also that they, we're not doing restoration on both sides of the road. We're not going down the center path of the road or something like that. So I think it just makes sense. It's going to be better for us to maintain in the future. It will eliminate someone on the opposite side of the road from likely getting a sewer connection off of it, which could be good or bad. But that's something that doesn't affect us at the present time.
So Wayne, this is what you were advocating back a year or so ago, right?
Yeah, it was.
Right. But they waited till they designed it, and then they waited until they got the permit from the state before they went out and even did any test holes. If they had done the test holes during the design stage, there wouldn't have been a change. It would have been most likely just done this way.
Yeah.
So I'm happy.
Okay. Well, that's good.
Dan, do you have any level of concern at all?
No, again, it's our original layout as well, to be on that side, so.
So
I
do we
think,
need are we going to need any official plans resubmitted?
Yeah, I understand Mark was going to revise the CADs now based upon the sketch drawing and resubmit those, so we should, I don't know what your schedule is for that, Mark.
Yeah, we're working on them right now. So it's in CAD right now, and we have folks working on it. And we should get them over to you in a few days, hopefully before the weekend, if not right after the holiday weekend.
Okay. And I think at that point, we can put this on the agenda and have a formal vote as to whether, to approve it as delivered.
Bill, I think we should approve it now, otherwise, and just,
Well, someone who remains anonymous put up a Robert's Rule of Order, which I believe is correct, that if we don't have it on the agenda, we can't really vote on it. We can discuss it as other business. But I think this is going to be a slam dunk one way or another. I think we should put it on the agenda for the next meeting. We could put it at the top of the list and just vote it right there.
If that's what it has to, if that's what it has to be, it has to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Does
mean,
it have to be a formal vote, though?
We did vote on everything before. I think that's why we would do it. I don't really, to be quite honest, I mean, we've approved the project and this is one of the spiders that comes out of it. I don't know why we have to, my own opinion, I'm not sure why we do it, but
Yeah, generally, this is just a field modification of the design, which is understandable during construction. I mean, you can take a formal vote later on, but I think it's fine for them to proceed. I think they are proceeding actually on this design anyways.
Yeah, I just want to capture the revision changes as they occur, so that when it's conveyed to the town, we have the actual updated
So part
plans.
of that, we've reviewed the drawings with MassDOT and also the Conservation Commission, and they're on board with the new layout. Actually, I agree with the new layout, with this new information with the water main in. I wanted to put the sewer in on this side of the street from the beginning. But we needed to maintain that 10 feet of distance between the two.
Yeah.
But with that positive feedback from both MassDOT and Concom, and all they've asked for is a set of as-built drawings at the end of the project. But I think it's important with this new alignment that we'll draft it up and get it out to the parties so we're all working on the same page. If there's any questions in the field.
Right, so there's no opposition from the commission on the change. All we need to do is just get the plans next July 12th and officially approve the plans and add them to the packet.
We can do that. Now, for the folks who are working out in the field, are they allowed to continue working on the sewer main?
Yeah, absolutely. It's under,
I'm going to say, I don't know why not.
yeah,
Okay,
you're under.
I just want to make sure.
Yeah, I mean, just so long as we have the design which provides us that 18-inch of offset.
Yes.
Yeah, my only concern is, you have a sketch or a draft. We just need to get something.
We do. I have it handy right now if you'd like to see it.
Yep.
Would you like to see it now or?
Yeah, if you go ahead and pull it up.
Okay, give me a moment.
Yeah, and just know that we've got about 4 minutes here before we have to.
Yep.
Okay, Mark, you should be able to share your screen.
I cannot. Okay. Do you see the screen now or it's coming up?
Not yet.
All right. I do have a blue box around the screen, so it appears like it's to be working.
Here we go. It's coming. Okay.
All right. So do you see the plan view right now?
We do.
Okay, so starting at, we're working downhill at the Cohasset Plaza. We will move the sewer main out to the middle of the travel lane to have a consistent line down the street or Route 3A. We go to the next plan view. And right here, we found the water main, the existing water main to jog 90 degrees. And the water main is not where we thought it was going to be. So that's why we thought it was going to cross from on this side of the street, the southbound side, over to this side. But we found it to be further in the shoulder. So it allowed us to put it into the travel lane, not in the wheel path of the vehicles as MassDOT prefers, not to have the casting struck by tires. So we'll maintain a consistent run down the middle of the travel lane. We found the water main here will maintain 18 inches of clearance between the AC pipe, the water main, and the proposed sewer line. Let me go down to the next layout. So from this sheet, you can see we're on the southbound originally. Now we're on the northbound lane, staying within the middle of the travel lane. And then we get down to Tapella Road. And we are not going into tie into the existing manhole. We are going to tie into sewer manhole number 1 over here. And we will maintain cover over clearance between the existing water line and the proposed sewer, as we show here. Not a major change. The grades are still consistent. It's very similar in nature to the original design, just that we're just shifting the proposed sewer line over to the northbound lane, and we're gonna mill and fill or cold plane and resurface the northbound lane in its entirety from Tapella Road up to Cohasset Associates.
Okay.
From the
Yeah.
center line over. So what at the end of the project, you'll see brand new pavement on one side of the street completely, no crossing over. And it's gonna be a little cleaner and neater. And hopefully it will save some time out in the field by not crossing the roadway twice.
Mark, how long will this take?
Yeah, we're gonna be for there 6 to 8 weeks, I think, in that range.
Okay.
If it all goes well, there's no problems with ledge or things of that nature, boulders, what have you. It should go pretty quickly. And then we'll have to come back. The MassDOT has I believe 90 days of moratorium where you have to let things settle out. They have the right to waive that based on compaction and compassion tests. So we'll work with MassDOT to see if we can get this work done and a little sooner than that. But the sewer line could be put into use in about 6 to 8 weeks after it's been installed, inspected, and
All right.
tested.
Okay, good.
So that's
So
the plan.
are there any other changes? Since you're running a pipe just straight down the road now, are there any other changes to manholes or any other access? Or is everything still the same since you're
It's
not
all the
having to?
same.
but
We're gonna, we can, with the benefit of doing this is that you don't have to change the structures all that much because they are all they're all straight through manholes, the majority of them.
Okay,
There's a few existing structures or proposed structures that we may have to recore in the field or get new ones based on the clockwork of the sewer. But that's something that the contractor, RJV, and us will work out and to figure out the best way to do that in the field.
okay,
But the majority of them, I try to eliminate 1 or 2 structures because of the run. Couldn't do that to eliminate. I wanted to eliminate 1 or 2 castings in the travel way, but I couldn't do that because of the drop section at the water main crossing right here.
yeah. So now you don't have to take a right or a left. So you're gonna go straight down. I didn't know if there was any other.
It's a lot
Yeah.
easier. This method is a lot easier. It's preferred. Originally, I wanted to do that, but we didn't have the 10-foot separation between the proposed sewer and the water.
Okay, so if we can get these plans finalized and put on the
Sure.
agenda for the 12th, we're good.
Okay.
We can vote to accept the change.
Yep.
All right.
So-
We'll continue working and if there's any other changes, we'll keep you in the loop and posted on that.
Yeah, very good. Okay, so we got to scoot because we have a couple of interviews coming up. Can I have a motion to adjourn from anyone?
So moved.
And I'll do a roll call. Bill McGowan, aye.
All KSI.
Wayne Sawchuck, aye.
All right, see you on the 12th and may see some of you in about a few minutes.
Okay,
Thank
All right.
you for your time.
All
bye,
right, take
everyone.
care.
All right.
Take care.
Yeah.
Bye.